What if the conflict the world feared for decades has finally begun? In 2026, tensions between Iran and Israel are no longer hidden in shadows. The quiet war of cyber attacks, covert strikes, and proxy battles has stepped into the light. Missiles are being launched, air defenses are active, leaders are issuing warnings that echo far beyond their borders. For years, analysts called it a shadow war, but today the line between deterrence and open confrontation is dangerously thin. One miscalculation, one strike too far could ignite a regional conflict with global consequences. Energy markets are reacting, alliances are being tested, and millions of civilians are watching the skies, wondering what comes next. Is this a temporary escalation, a controlled show of force, or the beginning of something far bigger? Tonight, we break down the causes, the consequences, and the critical question the entire world is asking. What's next? In early 2026, tensions between Iran and Israel escalated from long-standing hostility into direct military confrontation. For many years, these two countries were engaged in what analysts describe as a shadow conflict, involving covert actions, proxy militias, cyber attacks, and regional influence struggles, rather than open warfare. Israel has consistently expressed deep concerns over Iran's missile capabilities and regional alliances, while Iran has opposed Israel's policies and supported groups hostile to it across the Middle East. In late February 2026, a coordinated U.S. and Israeli military offensive targeted Iranian military and strategic sites, dramatically raising the stakes of the confrontation and marking a shift from indirect hostilities to overt military action. To understand why this escalation occurred in 2026, we must consider strategic concerns on both sides. A central factor has long been Iran's military capabilities, including ballistic missiles and support for allied militant groups in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, forces that are seen as threatening by Israel and its partners. Israel has consistently said it will not allow Iran's military strength to grow unchecked. Meanwhile, Iran maintains that its programs are defensive and rejects external interference. Prior to the latest conflict, both sides had already clashed indirectly, particularly during the 2025 episodes of mutual strikes and retaliation, including rocket barrages and missile exchanges. The buildup of military, political, and diplomatic pressures, along with strategic miscalculations on both sides, pushed the confrontation toward open conflict. The immediate impact of the 2026 escalation has been significant. Major airstrikes by U.S. and Israeli jets struck multiple sites across Iran, including strategic and military infrastructure. Iran responded with missile and drone attacks directed at Israel and at American military bases in the region. These exchanges have led to casualties on both sides and heightened alert levels in neighboring countries. In Israel, a state of emergency was declared, schools were closed, and airspace restrictions were imposed as missiles approached civilian areas. Civil defense sirens and evacuations have become common in parts of the region. Financial markets have also reacted, particularly in the energy sector, due to fears of disruptions. Important to correct, while some reports claim Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed, this has not been officially confirmed by Iranian authorities, although Israeli officials have said there are indications. The status remains disputed. The broader effects of this escalation extend far beyond the immediate conflict zones. The Middle East is a crucial region for global energy supplies, and any sustained conflict risks disrupting oil and gas export routes, which can influence world markets. Regional alliances are also being tested. While the United States has publicly supported Israel's security actions, many global powers and Middle Eastern states have called for restraint and diplomatic solutions. There are also broader security implications involving cyber attacks against critical infrastructure, information warfare, and economic pressures that could continue to shape the conflict's trajectory. The international community has voiced deep concern about the humanitarian impact and the need for de-escalation before the clashes expand further. Looking forward, several possible paths could unfold. One scenario involves de-escalation through diplomacy if global and regional actors successfully negotiate a reduction in hostilities. A second possibility is a prolonged, limited conflict with ongoing strikes, missile exchanges, and proxy confrontations without full-scale war across the region. The most dangerous scenario involves broader regional involvement, where other states or armed groups become directly engaged, significantly widening the conflict. Given the complicated network of alliances and geopolitical interests, outcomes remain highly uncertain. What is clear is that the decisions taken by leaders now will influence whether the region moves towards lasting peace or deeper long-term instability.